candles. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's look at this candle right here. The bottom of the body is where the candle opens. The top of the body is where this candle closes, okay, on a green candle. These wicks, they basically are just showing you that during this 24-hour, and I say 24-hour because this is a day chart, market was at some point down here. Buyers came in, took over, pulled it up, and at some point it was up here, but it got pulled back down and closed here, okay? Your red candles, this one next to it, it opened at the top of this body. So it opened where this price closed, okay? And it closed at the bottom of this body. The wick, you see this massive wick, just signifies that at some point during the 24 hours, it got yanked all the way up here. But the sellers came in and pulled it all the way back down and it closed here, okay? Does everybody understand basic candle structure? Does that make sense? Sweet. Perfect. So, daily. You want to start on your daily because your daily support, daily resistance is going to be very strong. If market's approaching a daily support or resistance, it's going to be a strong area to break. Again, please. Okay, no problem. So these candles, guys, let me go over this one more time. The green candles, okay, they open at the bottom of the body and they close at the top of the body, okay? The wicks just signify that at some point during this time, market was down here, but it got pulled right back. And at some time it was up here, but it got pulled back. So at some point during this 24 hours, this green candle was actually red for a minute. But it got yanked all the way back up here, okay? The red ones, they, same thing, just opposite. They open at the top. So your red candles, they open at the top and they close at the bottom. The wicks signify the same thing. So this red candle was a giant green candle at some point, but it got pulled all the way back down and closed red. Does that make sense? Angelina, I see you want me to go over it again. How do I get my trend line on my chart? It's right here. It's the one I had you guys save. It's going to be, if you come over here to the left, you're going to start trend line and horizontal line. Perfect. Okay. So anyway, so right now I'm on GBP CAD and this is my daily chart. So personally, I like this this 163 area, which this isn't the prettiest chart, guys, but I'm gonna break through it anyway and show you guys. And why I like it is because we have a wick rejection up, wick rejection, wick rejection, wick rejection, all these rejections, okay? If you zoom out, we have a whole cluster of rejection here as well. I also like on this one, this, perfect, this area down here as like a, back of my zone type deal, which in the day, this is very far, okay? This markup right here is very far from current market because current market is here. But I wanted to kind of mark up more areas just to show you guys, finding support and resistance. Perfect. So I like this zone as well. So right now I've got this as like a lower support, this as a support, and we can maybe add a resistance up here just so I can show you guys, which also I don't think I went over that, but support, guys, that is going to be your floor. So where market smacks, rejects, and goes up. Your resistance roof, I think of it like R&R, resistance roof, is basically where market smacks and rejects and comes down. I'm going to put a line here just because I kind of like it, And these lines, guys, you mark them up, you can move them. It's kind of trial and error. Like after you do it, multiple times, you're going to just start to see areas you like. But this is what you mark the what? So the bodies. Okay, good question. I mark wicks and bodies. I don't really have a preference, to be honest. I like what smacks and rejects the most. So in this case, I've got all these wicks that rejected here. That's why I kind of went for the wicks. But if I come over here, I've got a lot of bodies that also played off of it as well. I would just add the pairs, George, that are on your broker that we trade. So like the pairs that are on your personal broker. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so this would be my day. And again, me, this is me personal. This is how I trade. I like very simple charts. I don't like a lot of cluster. I don't like a lot of lines, you know, so mine would be like this, and I really wouldn't add more. Say you break through that first floor to enter it.
What's the laptop name?
So yeah, basically this would be, in this case, we are on a day chart. So this is super far from this. This is, you know, you can see this is 3, this is 3163, and then this is 2. My zone and how I like it, but in a few minutes. Okay. So once you have your daily marked up, you got your areas that you like, current markets here. So it may, you know, when we go down to our 5 minute, it may approach this 163 area. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to my hour. Do I have any questions on that day before I move on? Let me go back really quick. Good. Sweet. Hour. Okay. So your hour, what I like to do, just kind of zoom out and see. Then you're going to kind of see, sorry, I have hiccups. You're going to see how your dailies, you know, they should line up pretty well with your hours. So like now we're on the hour chart, these are all hours. And if I zoom out, I still like my dailies. You know, we've got this wick, rejection, rejection, rejection. And if you look, that bottom zone that we marked on our daily right here, see how when it broke through, came down here on these hour charts and respected it, and it came right back up. Okay. So I'm just going to zoom out so you guys can see. There's another cluster of where respected. So you don't always have to, you know, I like to zoom out a little bit when I mark up my charts, but when I zoom out like that, I mainly just do it to show you guys that market repeats itself. So what it does in the past, it's always going to do in the future. So if you have a really strong resistance in the past, it's going to be a strong resistance in the future. So here, we're on our hour now. Excuse me. This is our dailies that we marked up. Oh, excuse me. Resistance and support. I use both. I use bodies or wicks, really whatever smacks and rejects the most. Sometimes I'll have like, so if I have 5 wicks smack an area and respect it, and then they all kind of smack that same zone, like the wicks go up to the same exact area, I'm going to respect those wicks and put a line there more so than I would if only one wick went up and hit an area. Does that make sense? So I do use both. So in this case, we are now looking at our hour. And same thing, guys. I'm just going to add another solid zone if I see one that I like. So honestly, right here, this kind of sticks out to me. I like this. Let me zoom in so I can show you. Granted, this really isn't. Today's not a pretty day to trade. So these charts are not very pretty. But what stood out to me was when I was here, you got rejection, wick, rejection, 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 little cluster of rejection, big cluster of rejection right here. And even when it breaks it, guys, so right here, this candle breaks it, closes above, and look, we have a retest, rejection, rejection, rejection. I'm using it as a floor. Then when it breaks below, uses it as a roof. So I kind of look for zones. Look at this candle over here. This massive wick came up, boop, came all the way back down. So I look for zones that are, you know, respected, whether it's a roof or a floor. You know, what's once your strong roof will be your strong floor if it breaks it. So I look at these as like zones, you know, your support resistance zones. If it breaks your line, that's okay. It's still a strong area. So this would be, honestly, my hour, I probably wouldn't, no, I'm going to add a line here just to show you guys. Excuse me, I'm kind of adding more lines than I normally would, but I want you guys to see kind of what I see. So in this case, and again, this isn't the prettiest pair, but I'll find a pair after. I'm going to mark right here because of this current candle, and we're still on the hour. Came up, rejected it, rejected it, rejected it. Right here, these bodies, and over here, this little cluster. You guys see all these little points of rejection. Granted, not a super pretty pair, so you're going to see some spots break it, and that's okay. Kind of just very wicky, like all these big wicks. I tend to like avoid. I like less wicks. I like all these massive candles. I like less wicks when I'm trading. Just have to mark up. Those time zones. I mean, when you're learning, I guys, I would recommend doing this like top down thing. I would do the day, I would do the hour, you know, like I am right now, because it really is going to help you to find these strong areas. Excuse me. Hikinashi. Periodically, Hikinashi basically just is going to show you more momentum in the market. You can, you know, if that's something that you like to look into. Sometimes I do have them saved up there. Periodically, I'll look at them if I'm in like a roll rebuttal or something. But for the most part, no. I kind of like the regular, just your price action candles when I trade. Okay, so of course. So this is our hour, guys, and I'm gonna mark it up, and I'm probably gonna leave it here. Like I said, I like simple. I don't like a lot of clutter on my charts. Honestly, this is probably more than I would do, but I really want to show you guys strong support and resistance. That's why I'm doing it. So I'm gonna mark this up on my hour, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop down to my 15 now. And when you're marking these, and if you're marking them correctly, you know, and this is why it's important. Like you can mark something, and if you come down to your next time zone and you see it just being like obliterated, go back, you know, go back up to your hour and readjust that line, and then go back and see like if you still like it. In this case, I still really like it. These are 15-minute candles now, guys. So basically each candle is 15 minutes. We've got this wick of rejection, boom, wick of rejection, boom. Come over here. We have all these ones. I know they wicked past, you know, that's okay though. Look at all these ones that came into this zone, came back up and closed above. Zoom back out really quick so I can show you guys. Right here, look, and this is in the past. Giant cluster right here, using it as a roof, using it as a floor, using it as a roof. Kind of a little messy here, but that's okay. But you see what I mean by, you know, here's a strong floor, breaks it, using it as a strong roof. So when something breaks your zone, you know, don't move a line. The lines stay. I don't move my lines. Do you color coordinate your lines? Me personally, no. Again, I'm like OCD with my charts. I'm real like, I like it very simple. I like the black background with the white lines. It looks pretty on my eyes. It works for me. This is just personally what I like. But yes, you can definitely color coordinate these guys if you want to. You can add little labels, you know, so it says daily. You know, you can do really whatever fits for your style. My style, personally, I just currently like, this is just how I trade. I like the white back or the white lines on the black background, but you can definitely do that. Okay. Trying to mark up anything more than the dates or so colorful of that. That's okay. So sometimes when you mark up your day, like Kendra just said, sometimes when you mark up your daily, you know, current market maybe isn't approaching a strong daily support or resistance. That's okay. But really, my main focus on the day is, baby, it's okay. It doesn't need to be plugged in. You got charged. Is I want to see if current market is approaching a strong daily support or resistance. Because regardless of who's stronger, if you have market coming up to a strong support or resistance, it's going to take a lot to break it, guys. So even if like CAD is super strong and GBP is, you know, weak, and, you know, we're looking at puts, but then we're like, oh man, it's coming up to a daily support. That daily support, it's gonna take a minute to break it, especially if it's been holding for, you know, like a month. Like that's a strong zone. So even if CAD has the strength in its favor, just in that moment, it still may not break that daily support. That's why it's always important to kind of just check it, just to make sure it's not going to affect anything when we jump down to that 5 minute and go to trap market and take our trade. I hope that makes sense. Fine when I mark up anything more than the day. Oh, that's what he's saying to that. Okay, so if it breaks where I marked up, I'm leaving that line, because what breaks, here we go, like I'll show you. Right here. It's 415. Say we had it marked up because it was a strong 4, okay? Right here, this candle breaks it and closes. So for something to break your line, it has to the body has to close either above or below it. So in this case, here's our candle that broke. Boom. Closed right here. Took a few candles, but look at this one right here. Came all the way up, retested it, pulled back. This one came close, didn't necessarily smack it, came back, etc. So, sorry. So yeah, like I said, if you have a strong floor or roof, support or resistance, and it breaks your zone, that's okay. Don't panic. Leave it. You know, what is once your strong floor will be your strong roof again. So I would just leave it personally. Sorry, I was trying to catch up on the chat really quick before I move forward. How to make it blacked out. You're gonna click this top left menu, scroll down, and you're gonna see dark color theme. Just turn that on. So I always end up just marking up just my 5. That's okay. No worries. So I always end up just marking. No, you don't want to just only mark your 5 though, because of what I was just saying about your daily, you know, like your hourly is going to be a stronger support zone than your 15, etc. So that's why I do this like top down thing. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so back to this. So now we're on the first. Now we're on our 15. This was our hourly mark, guys. It was 4:15, I believe it was, correct? Yep. So now we're gonna come here. This is our hour. I know our hour is strong. And this one might be the one that breaks it, but you know, we're watching to see. And you're gonna do the same thing, guys, on your next time frame. So in this case, I'm gonna leave. I know this is a strong roof. I don't really need to. Why am I gonna add another resistance when I have an hour mark right here that's strong? And I'm gonna just maybe add a support down here just to show you guys, which you don't always have to do, but how it's gonna line up maybe on the next one. And let's see. And I just put my line, guys, and I move it around. Like, it's okay if you put a line somewhere and then you go, you know, and you look and you're like, I don't really like it. And so that's perfectly fine. 5, just not in my color. Let's color flip. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe put it here just to play it safe. We'll see how I like it on like the, we don't have to, I'm gonna bring it up here because of this wick, these little bodies, and then over here, these 2 little wicks. We'll see how I like it on 5. If it looks like I said, if you mark something and then you go down to your next time frame and that thing just gets obliterated, it's okay. Like it's all right. Like we can remove that line. It's really not a huge deal. But this one, in this case, you see how this keeps waking up and pulling back. It's a strong zone, guys. It doesn't really want to break it. So I don't really know who's stronger in the moment. We can check, but keeps waking up, pulling back. And okay, hold on, let me answer these. To set up your times, guys, up here to the top left, you're gonna see this D. Click on it, and you're gonna hover over the time, and you're gonna just click the little star. So just star your 1 day, your hour, your 15, and your 5. And then, how do I know when to call or quit? Okay, good question. I'm gonna go over that right now when we go into the 5 minute, guys. So this is gonna be my 15, and I'm gonna move to my 5. This, okay, you see this line right here? That's beautiful in my opinion. I love that. So look, we marked this on our 15. And like I said, trial and error, mark something, check it, move it, do what you gotta do. But I liked it right here. We jump down to our 5. You see how it lines up really pretty on our 5? Honestly, you don't even need to add any more lines on this 5 minutes. This thing is set up pretty perfect for you to take a trade right now. Can you be more aggressive and be like, well, I see like right here, you know, yes, you can, but why? When you know you've got, you know, I actually kind of like aggressive, so I probably put this here. But when you know this is an hour mark, okay, hour mark is super strong. We just marked this one up in our 15. It's very strong. I think this was our daily down here, guys. So that's why I kind of worked down from the day to the hour to the 15 to the 5, because when you have these strong areas, you know, this is an hour mark. That hour is going to be strong. So I'm leaving it. Like, I don't need to add Anything else on this 5 minute, this is kind of perfect for me. I did add this line here, like I said, so let me see. And the only reason I did is because we got this wick, rejection, rejection. And we got quite a few here that kind of use it as a roof. Yeah, I actually do like this one. But you see how you got this body closed on it? Let me zoom in so you guys can see. These little wicks came up, tested, pulled back, tested, pulled back. Body opened on it. Excuse me. Body closed on it, body opened on it, body closed on it. So OG, this one came up, closed on here. But you see all this like rejection? That's a strong zone. So even though this broke it, boom, broke it and closed above. So technically, once something breaks, this is not my roof anymore, this is the floor. And you can play the retest, but here's where strength comes into play, okay? So my chart's marked up now. Now I'm looking to take my trade. I'm gonna look at strength. I wanna see, okay, who's stronger. So let me refresh this really quick. GDP, CAD is actually stronger. And I don't personally like to go, oh no, wait, that would be perfect, okay. So CAD is stronger. So what we're looking for, in my opinion, I'm looking for puts. I don't like to go against strength, okay? So when you're looking at, whichever, it doesn't matter which one you're trading. In this case, we're on GBP CAD. GBP is your first currency pair, CAD is your second. If the first is stronger, you're gonna see, the first pulling the second pair up. If the second pair is stronger, in this case, Canadian, the CAD, is stronger, you're going to see it wanting to pull down. So in this case, which someone just said, like if you zoom out, you can see this thing go down. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why the hiccups so bad today. I'm looking for puts, okay? Because CAD's stronger. I don't really like to go against strength. So in this case, this hourly mark right here, that's my put zone. So I'm going to enter this 415. And so, oh, sorry, my kid distracted me. So this would be when I would enter. When it comes up to 415, I'm going to enter. There's 30 seconds left on this 5 minute, so I might wait just because in like the last minute of candles, guys, you're going to see a lot of like quick, crazy movement. And I don't want this thing to like shoot up here and close above, because once something breaks and closes, okay, it has to now re-break that area. So it has to now re-break down. And if it wants to be super strong, which it probably would be because this is an hour, it might not re-break down at times. So that's when we would find ourselves in a rollover battle. It's just getting stuck right there at our entry. Like we know it's supposed to go down, but it's just getting stuck. It's getting stuck because it's an hour. It was our hourly resistance. If it broke it, now it's a support and it's still going to be strong either way. Okay. Let me check out these questions real quick. So that is how I determine my calls and puts. I like to go against strength, and I'm playing off of my support and my resistance, Yeah, and I mean, market's wonky today, guys. I'm not personally trading, but you probably could have cleared that. So let me see. We're looking at the daily trend. You can, with HFX, you're going in and you're kind of in and out of the market really quick. So when I look at the day, I kind of just want to see, what it's doing. And right now, like the daily, which I know this looks a little confusing because we added all these lines. I mean, it's kind of like consolidated, like just moving right to left, So I'm personally not really looking at the daily trend too much. I'm more so just looking for these solid support and resistance. Why are my wick lengths different than yours? Make sure so if you're on FXCM, that could be a reason. Sometimes the charts are a little different on FXCM and Awanda, but like I said, as long as you're using one or the other, you're golden. I think Alex uses FXCM. I just personally like Awanda. Are you using one? Oh, someone was answering you. Yep. If you got it on, it would have cleared. Yep. The 415 would have cleared. So we don't bring it down to the 1 minute to trade. Okay, guys, so the 1 minute, like I said, there is so much you can look at when trading, all right? If I said that I never looked at 1 minute, I would be lying. Normally I had the 1 minute up here. I took it off because I didn't want to confuse you guys. I'm gonna go back up so I don't lose my place with these questions. Tomorrow, Larissa will most likely go more into depth into that. You can, okay, so look, you can, I'm not gonna mark it, but I'll just show you guys. This is our 5 minute, now we can look at our 3 minute. You can see how it's respecting on the 3 minute, and you can probably see how it's respecting on the 1 minute. So I don't want to confuse you guys. You totally can. There's 1,000 different ways to trade, guys. I'm just showing you the basics of what taught me how to trade. In the beginning, I used to pay for trading new. I had 1,000 indicators on this bad boy, and I overcomplicated it so much for myself. Like big time. Like I had to sit with Alex. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And Alex did like a class, and he brought it back to the basics. And I'm like, okay, this is where I'm messing up. I skipped over learning how to find strong support and resistance zones. And like I said, everything you're going to learn this week, they all use support and resistance. They're going to show you other strategies, but they're going to, but this is the basis of everything. So let me look at these questions really quick. So we don't bring down to the 1 minute. You can go. If your candles look super small, guys, or if you look, if they look like stretched or something, go ahead and right click here, and you see this reset chart. Yeah, today's more like basics. I could show you guys. Really, this is how I trade. We can go over another chart and stuff in a minute. I just wanted to kind of go over the basics. So if you're, sorry, there's a lot of questions going on. If your candles look small or they look super stretched, go ahead and right click, guys, and click reset chart. It's going to bring it back into the position for you. 5 minute is where, yeah. So, yep, I like the 5 minute chart. Correct. The 5 minute is normally what I'm looking at to take my trade. So like I said, this 415, this would have been my put. I would have taken it for 2 minutes and we most likely would have cleared. It's kind of lingering here. But yep. And then, like I said, on your 5 minute, guys, or really on any pair, like what you're looking at to trade, that last minute, I don't really like to take the trade. So, excuse me, in the last minute, I'll normally wait and watch the candle and see, what it's going to do. Because like I said, you can see a lot of crazy movement in that last minute, and you don't really want to get stuck up in that. That's when you can see something shoot up and randomly close up here or etc. And then same thing with when we're looking at time frames, when the hour is closing. Excuse me. When we say the hour's coming up or the 30 minutes coming up. Oh gosh, hiccups are the worst. When you see that those times are coming up, basically when your hour's closing, guys, you also have your 30 minute, your 15 minute, your 5 minute, your every candle underneath that is closing at the same exact time. So that's why sometimes we're like, hey, roll it past the hour, because you're going to see crazy movement. You're going to see stuff moving sporadically that, normally wouldn't happen. And you kind of want to get past that. So let me go back to my 5 and let me look at these questions. I'm sorry, I see the chat going up. How do you change it to Awanda? Right here, guys. The plus sign, add symbol, type in your pair, Euro USD, and they're going to pop up Awanda or FXCM. Excuse me. You can zoom your chart in and out. Yep, yeah, you can. When you zoom out or zoom in, that's why I said reset. Do you trade according to time? I'm not sure what exactly you mean about that. I personally like to trade either early in the mornings or at night. Any other indicators? So yeah, I would So me personally, again, there are a few indicators that I use, not many, but prior to using indicators, this is all I used. This is how I learned how to trade. Once you understand this, like the basics and the foundation of it, then the rest will come easy. So yeah, like up here, I have my indicators, guys. I use like 3, but I have them all turned off because I don't want to confuse you guys right now. So, you know, these little eyeballs, boom, close them off. And if you like indicators, perfectly fine. When you're marking your chart though, turn them off. Do not mark your charts based on these indicators, okay? Click the little eyeball, turn them off. Because technically, you don't need them. If you can find strong support zones and resistance zones, you can trade off of those all day long. The indicators are just going to give you more confirmation. They're going to kind of help confirm your trade, make you be like, oh yeah, that's like a beautiful trade now. But in reality, this you can trade off of this. I used to trade off of this all the time. This is how I trade. Like I said, do I turn on a couple indicators? Yeah, I like my EMA. I like to see if it's going to it, but for the most part, this is how I trade. I trade simple, like very simple. I have bars, bottom of mine. Do I need it? The volume bars. No, you can take them off if you want. To remove a indicator, you should be able to right click on those bars and click remove indicator. Can I take a 1 minute trade? Oh wait. Yeah, there's gonna be trading sessions this week, guys. Open up to you. I believe all the BOCs are opened up. The ladies' night. There might be a few other ones. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we'll definitely be trading. Like I said, today, me personally, I'm gonna not trade just because market's sporadic. We've got news, you know, you got a lot going on, so not really worth it. But can I take a 1 minute trade and a 5 minute time frame? You can, but me personally, I kind of like the 2 to 3 minute trade. You can take, you know, if market's moving quick, you can, you know, if it's moving like up, down, like you see it moving fast, you can change your time to a minute. That's okay. I personally really like the 2 minutes. That's just what I stick with. And that's what I'm gonna stick with. And in this case, let me see, guys. You see how this candle, look, we're in the last minute of it. There's only 10 seconds left. And it looks like it may break it. But yeah, look, right here, boom. This is why I wait. So this is exactly why I wait. When I'm in that last minute of the candle, that's why I wait. Because someone could have seen that and been like, oh, it's breaking, you know, it's breaking my roof. It's going to make its way up and taking that. Nope, look at it. It came all the way down and goes right here. That last minute, it can really do anything. So if the second pair is stronger, that's a put or a call. That's a put. So if your second pair is stronger, you're going to see it kind of bullying and pulling down on the first pair. Okay. If the first is stronger, you're going to see that one kind of bullying and pulling the other pair up. Could you slow down? Yeah, guys, but I can slow down. I'm sorry. Do you use candle patterns? Yeah. So like I said, do I only use this nowadays? For the most part, yes. But once I understood this and I could mark up my charts, everything else started to come natural to me. So now, you know, if I see a reversal candle or I see a pattern forming, yeah, I'm going to recognize it and trade off of it. But regardless, like when you're playing, you know, if you see a reversal candle or something, most of the time you're going to see that reversal candle hitting your resistance or your support. So it kind of just gives you extra confirmation, like, ooh, we're approaching my resistance. Ooh, that's a reversal candle. Oh, my EMA is right here, etc. That's why, like, they're just extra confirmations, really. So yes, I do use them. But do you take a trade in the middle of the candle once it hits your nose? Yep. So first, I take it. Once something smacks my zone, which granted, I don't know who's stronger now, but the minute this thing came up here, I would have taken it for the put. The only reason this red candle I was telling you guys I would wait is when there's like about a minute left in this candle. I normally hold off because I like to see what it's going to do. And like you saw this one do, there's 10 seconds left. Looked like it was going to close above, but then that thing shot down here and closed way down here. So the last minute, you know, like 45 seconds, you're going to see a lot of crazy like movement. You're going to see a lot going on with those candles. That's why I normally just sit back, let it do its minute, and then I go in. But yeah, for the most part, you know, like this one, it came up here. It came past it. It came to what? Like 424. You know, on a normal day, if I was trading, I probably would have taken that put. Especially if, let me see. And you always got to refresh this, guys. If you're not using like heat wave that refreshes automatically, you have to refresh this. But yeah, CAD still got the strength in its favor. We're floated too. I personally still like it, and I would have cleared that. No, so I do, like I said, I use a few indicators. I like my EMA, Bollinger Bands, and Divergence. Those are the three that I would go to. Those are my three go-to. When I mark up my charts, no, I do not. I mark up bear like this. And for the most part, I trade bear like this. The only reason I'll like turn my indicators on is if I see like, oh, market's getting stuck. What is it doing? I like to see. But for the most part, no. Just like I said, I'm a simple trader. I don't do anything like extravagant, anything fancy. Very simple, guys. Like I really learned to find strong support and resistance zones. Okay, so I hit 406, now 415. Okay, so that might be honestly, like on race options, someone said it hit 406, now 415. That might be just today, to be honest. That's why I said I'm not trading today, because like on holidays, NFP week and stuff, you'll see like, you know, on TradingView, markets up here at 420, but on your broker, it only came to like 410. Those are just things that I kind of avoid. Also, what you could try though is, I don't know if you're using FXCM or Awanda. Like I use binary set to trade. Awanda matches up pretty perfect with it. But there are ugly days or ugly times of the day where it doesn't. So you just got to kind of be careful. But you could try the other one. You know, if you're on Awanda and you see it's not matching up with your broker, try FXCM or vice versa. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to, there's a lot of questions that popped up. Okay, according to time means if I'm on a 5 minute, do I have to take a 5 minute trade? No. So if I'm looking at a 5 minute chart, no, I'm not taking a 5 minute trade. If I'm looking at the 5 minute chart, I'm most likely going to take like a 2 minute trade. No big difference between Awanda and Forex, or FXCM, guys. Don't use Forex.com. There is one that says like Forex.com, but use the FXCM. Really no big difference. I think honestly, like maybe they're off by a few points, but you see like me and Alex trade and Larissa trade. I think me and Larissa use Awanda and Alex uses the FXCM, and we always have like the same zones. You may be off by like a point or two, but that is basically which EMA I use. Sure. So the EMA that I do use, and all I use is the 200 if I use it. But when you come to your indicators, you're gonna go to EMA, and this one that just literally says EMA, nothing else. That's the one that I used. But when I put it on, I go to settings and I take off the 20 and the 50. You're gonna learn later on in the week how to use those guys. Me personally, again, I'm a simple trader. I like simple. That's it, the 200. And I just like it just to see, you know, you'll hear us sometimes say, oh, it's ripping to the 200, the EMA. That's really like why I like it. Let's see, days and times for ladies' night. Ladies' night is Wednesday night, and the time actually just changed. I want to say it's 9 or 10. 9 or 10. I have to double check on that. It's either going to be 9 Eastern or 10 Eastern. Not 100% sure because it just changed. If you look at the 5 hour chart, yeah, Mohammed, you can definitely. So the 3 candle rule, and again, this is why I say there's so many different trading styles. You can look at your 5 minutes and you can wait for your confirmation or whatnot. But when you're doing that 3 candle rule, you more so want to wait for like a trending market. And then, yeah, you would play it. You would wait for your confirmation. You would play a 15-minute trade, you know, and you would play it for 3 candles, etc. Same with like the 1 minute. You would take a 3-minute trade, etc. That's kind of the 3 candle rule, excuse me. Which Larissa is a heavy like confirmation trending market trader. She's going to go over a lot of that, so I don't really want to go into that in depth today. Let me scroll and see. On the weekend, when you're not trading live, how do you study? What do you practice? On the weekend, honestly, I used to just watch a lot of videos just because you can't come on. It kind of stinks. You can't come on Trading View and, you know, watch candles. Or you can go back in the past, you know, and look at things. But for the most part, on the weekends, I would watch videos, kind of take notes on the videos. And then when market opened up, I would study those. People are taking these and clearing. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get through all these questions, guys. Is the first line 1 hour, second 5 minute? Well, for the most part, so this 415 actually, this was a hourly support or resistance, excuse me. Let me turn this off. This is why I like for you guys, and this is why I was showing you guys to start from your day, go to your hour, your 15, and your 5, because this 415 was an hourly support. An hourly resistance. I never had to add another resistance as I went down because it was holding strong and market was respecting it in every time frame. So I'm not going to add another zone here when I have a strong hourly resistance. My 5 minute, I did add this one, I believe. I kind of trapped it more right here because I seen it respecting. Let me see. What does it tell you? Oh, okay, over here to the right-hand side, guys, this is your timer. Someone asked when it shows you. If your timer is not here, just go ahead and right-click on these like numbers, and you're going to see countdown to bar close. Go ahead and check mark that, and then your timer will pop up. 3-0. So on the weekend, you're not trading live. Like I just said, on the weekend, I will watch videos and stuff. That's just me. I tap into classes. Like I tap into everything. So I kind of always remain a student still to this day. Like I'm always, if there's a class on, you know, I always like to tap in and learn from other people. Would you still take the trade if both currency strengths are the same? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like GBP and CAD is the same strength, honestly. Like I said, this is hourly resistance. I'm gonna take that. And if they're like the same, and I see this thing just playing ping pong, and they're like the same strength, like 2-2, like they're both weak or something, you can technically play ping pong with the market right here. It's stuck. So until it breaks you and leaves you one way or the other, you can play on this. So that's where you find your timer. Before now, be careful, guys, okay? I love that you guys are all clearing this, but it is a holiday. I don't want anyone to get messed up. The settings, I use the 200. Yep, when I use my EMA and turn it on, sorry, settings, I just have the 200 check marked. I just unchecked the other two. Yep, yeah, they're gonna show you more on these indicators, I promise, guys. Today I just really wanted to show you, honestly, the basics and the foundation of how I trade. When you suggest 1 minute trades, I suggest when market's moving like, I don't know, like Brazzy, like Alex says, like when you see market just moving like bam, bam, up, down, like it's moving quick, then I would kind of want like a 1 minute trade, like in and out. Like I want to grab that high point out or grab that low point out. But for the most part, when market's moving normal, I like 2 minutes because if I have to roll or something, like I want to have time to kind of analyze my trade. Sorry, there's a lot of questions here. So do we have access to your training session when we're in this class? Yeah, when we get on to trade, guys, it should be on the schedule that was pushed out, but yep. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to skip through these. I do every day. This honestly to sharpen your skills. Come on and mark up your strong support resistance. Watch the market, see if it respects it. It might break it right here. That's okay. You know, maybe GBP gains strength and it breaks in here. That's fine. Now you're my floor. You know, mark up and just watch the market, guys. Take dollar trades. Like I'll just watch like trading view sometimes just to see like what it's doing. Is it respecting my zone? You know, the more you do this, the more it's just gonna come easier to you guys. Like you can't skip over this, like the basics of this. I do not want to trade left to. I mean, I guess, but like really, you know, if we wanted like 415 and then this thing just melted and it was down here like 279, I'd be like, oh, we missed it. Like, you know, I'd probably still keep it flagged and see if it came back, but okay, sorry. 3 candle rule. They're gonna go over that tomorrow, guys. I don't want to confuse brand new people, but that will definitely get talked about, I promise. Because you're more so going to use that on a trending market, like the 3 candle rule. You're looking for confirmation and you're looking for trending markets, and that is like Larissa's specialty. She's going to go all into that. You guys are killing me with all these clears. Okay, so I think I'm to the bottom of these questions. I'm going to show you guys. Yep. Okay, wait, let me go back and explain about checking this. Perfect. So I'm going to show really quick. So I'm going to have a question about the news. That's your Forex factory. This, you guys should be checking this before you get on. This was the first thing I showed you guys. You're checking this before you get on to take any trades. So forexfactory.com. And then basically what you're doing is you just want to check the time. So right now for me, what time is it? 12. I don't have any news until 4:30 for odd, but I also have all day USD and all day CAD. It's bank holiday. So that's why like these gray folders, bank holidays tend to avoid. Red and orange tend to avoid. And tentative, that means that it can kind of drop at any point. So if you see something that has tentative news and it's a red folder, me personally, I am avoiding it. I hope that answers your question. Would you ever take the call at 346? Yeah, I mean, like I said, technically, market's trapped. Like, you can play these calls, and honestly, I think it's a strong area just because we have all this rejection. Using it as a roof, it was a resistance right here. Look at all this rejection, okay? Breaks it, closes, boom. Now it's my floor. Granted, if CAD is like 6 and GBP is 1, I probably wouldn't take this call just because it's a little more aggressive, just because CAD has the strength to just break through it. Like when this thing breaks away, as long as CAD's still stronger, as long as it stays on its downtrend, it's gonna break down, in my opinion. So maybe, I mean, maybe not. You never know. Like GBP could take over, but yeah. So like if they were the same, and like I said, it was 2-2. Oh yeah, play ping pong with the market. Why not? Because if it's consolidated and stuck here, you could play this call, you could play this put, you could play this call, play this put, you know, and these are all clears. And then you're gonna lose the last one. I mean, maybe not. You might win it if you get lucky and you just get it on the right side. But eventually, when this breaks, either up or down, that would be the one you lose. And I mean, I'm okay with going like 10-1. So you definitely can play. Like when it's in consolidation and it's trapped, you can play both, yes. But keep in mind the strength. If CAD is way stronger and CAD's like 7-1, 6-1, probably avoid the calls just because CAD has the strength to break right through this. Okay. Is there a reason why my candle doesn't show up as soon as the time hits 0? So that might be just today, honestly. Again, I know this is like respecting and it's, you know, everybody's clearing, but today's really not like a gorgeous day to trade. And it happens to me too sometimes. There are times where, you know, on like bad times during the market or just bad days to trade, this will take a minute to give you a new candle, you know, and if you go to your broker, you'll probably see it like flatlining. Sometimes it just happens. Someone had a question about when to start marking up a chart. Rewrite your question about when to start marking up your chart. When I start marking my chart, I start on my day. How many pairs should you trade? Look at that one switch trading. When you're first starting out, pick like 3 pairs. Pick 3 pairs and do that to like do your day, your hour, your 15, and your 5. And like focus on 3 pairs and go from there. You don't need to come through and mark up every single pair. Like I do not mark up every single pair before I go to trade. To be honest, my personal strategy, I look at my broker and I like to see my top pairs. And I'm looking for those 80%ers, like 75%ers. Those are the ones that I'm flagging and I'm trying to find a trade on. But when you're practicing, just skip through and look for like 3 that you like and flag them and just mark them up and sit here and watch it and see, is it going to respect my zone? And if it doesn't respect your zone, look and see why. How do you know if a trade is coming back and want to roll and double up? Okay, so rolling and doubling up. Plenty of different like reasons that I would roll a trade. So if you're caught in an MRW, what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to jump over to this line chart because I want to show you guys the line that I had you. This is how you're going to see your M's and W's, okay? So if I'm in like a really good trade and I see it coming up, and in this case, it has came up and wicked up before. Let's say I'm in a W and I see it. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm in an ugly W here. That would maybe be one, as long as my strength is still in my favor, no crazy news dropped, nothing, dramatic changed. That would be one that I would roll. I would roll it past that W, and, I would expect that once that W is done forming, it's going to come back to my favor. Another reason I would maybe roll is your other time frames. You got to look and see, like, what are you doing on the 15-minute? What are you doing on your hour? Etc. So I look at like multiple things when I decide if I want to roll over. But like, let's say it blows through here and I'm like, oh man, normally the first thing I look at is strength. I want to see like the GBP take over. And if it did, that may be one that I would just be like, you know what? GBP took over like 6-1. This is going to be my loss and I'm going to let it be. Certain ones when news drops or strength changes or something just doesn't go in your favor, you can't save them all. Like you're not going to win every single trade. So it just depends, but for the most part, I'm looking for those M's and W's. I'm looking to see at other time frames, am I caught in an M on the 15-minute? Am I caught in a W on the other time frames? Penny pairs. Sorry, I'm trying to. You also take spikes. If it's going to give me that free money spike, then I'd probably take it. So what you're saying is you just actually get on the trades. Yeah, mark your charts, guys. I'm telling you. I know it seems tedious, like, my day, my hour, my 15, but if you can do that and you can find these solid zones, you're going to be able to mark them quick. Like, I can mark my charts pretty quick now. Like, I don't even, it takes time. Like, you have to practice it. Like, it's really just repetition, practicing this. How do you add the candle timer? The candle timer is you right click over here, and then you're going to click count down the bar. Sorry, trying to catch up on all these. Yeah, so an MRW, yep. So basically an MRW, sorry, mommy's on the phone, I'm almost done. The right. Okay, you gotta wait, I'm on the phone, baby, I'm almost done. I told you gotta sit me good. Sorry guys, my 4-year-old. Okay, so the right side of these letters, yes, they're always gonna be the strongest. So in this case, a W, what we're talking about when we see that is like the right side, this leg. Boom, you see how this thing pulled all the way up here? The right leg is what's gonna be strong and push. Same with an M. You've got your little M here. That right leg is what's gonna be strong and push. So, yep, it can definitely signify going up or down. I don't really use it to determine if I'm gonna take a trade, but I'm almost done. You need to go sit. But I like to use it as like confirmation. Yeah, Euro USD, USD, JPY, you know, UJ's, they call it like the jungle. That thing can move kind of crazy, but like Euro USD is normally a pretty smooth, a pretty smooth one. You know, maybe stay away from like CHF in the beginning, even though I personally like it. Can you show the M's and W's? I just showed those. How long before a trading? Oh, how long before a trading session would I mark up? When I was learning, I would give myself like, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes to find a couple pairs that I liked, like when you're learning. But once you get it down pat, you can kind of identify these zones. Again, I guess personal preference, like how quick you are at like marking up your areas. We don't have percentage for the day. Jade, let me go see if I think I just answered that. I hope that's the question that you're talking about, Jade. So yeah, like if you're, you know, you can even do it like before BOC, you know, get on and mark up your areas, and then God bless you. You know, if we're on a pair or something, you know, look and see. That's another thing I recommend when you're watching educators, when you're watching people trade, take the time to, you know, like if they call out an area, mark it on your chart, slap a line there, see if it makes sense to you, see if you see what they see, you know. Perfect. Okay. So again, with these lines, the reason I wanted to show you guys the lines, so GBP CAD, we're gonna go to different pairs for the heck of it. Yep. Yeah, someone said the 30-minute. Yeah, be careful if you're taking that. I'm gonna leave it marked because I know you guys were, but I'm gonna come to, let's suppose this GBP. All right. So how I was showing you guys how to mark up these candles, okay? If when you're looking at the candles, you're like, man, this looks confusing. I'm like having trouble finding solid zones, etc. This is why I want that line chart, Sage. Okay. When you click on line, it's going to kind of remove all that clutter, and it's going to give you this. What you're looking for here is I call them like little peaks. I guess you can call them pivots. Really, whatever suits your fancy. I like peaks, so I'm going to go with that. You're going to grab your line and you're going to mark up these peaks. Okay. So right here, I have this little peak, this little peak, this little peak. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, right here. See this peak, peak. These are like points of rejection, pivot zones. You know, this is what you're marking. Okay. And what you're gonna do is once you mark up these areas, you know, right here, this is another one. You see how we got a little peak, little peak, little peak, little peak. Once you have them marked up, go ahead and jump to your candles, and you're gonna see. Oh, okay, wow, this makes sense to me. These are all the peaks that I marked up. Look at all these bodies that respected here. Boom, 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 boom. This zone was trapped here. Came all the way down here. Reversed right here. You know, granted, there's a lot of wicks here, but still, look at big wick came up. Wick came up. This peak that we peak, pivot, whatever you want to call it, that we just marked. When you come to your candles, look at all these bodies that goes above and respected it. Yeah, we have these big ugly wicks that came all the way down here to the second zone, but it still came all the way back up and closed above. Yep. What's your trading plan? My trading plan is what I showed you guys earlier. I'm not sure if you saw, but I use like the compound daily thing, but I kind of just like write up my own plan. I look for I like 5%. That's doable for me. I stick to 5%. And I mark, I like 5% a day, and I bet about 1% of my account per trade, because again, you know, this is me personally. I'm a more aggressive trader. When I see that aggressive zone and I see like that, oh, this one may be safe, I'm most likely taking the aggressive zone. And if it goes to that, you know, safe zone, I'm going to double up and I'm going to roll. So that's why me personally, I like 1%. It works for me because I can account for, yep, someone just put it in there. I appreciate you. Thank you, Nolan. I can account for my rollovers and my double ups, you know, because if I start at 3% and then I double up and I roll over, Now I'm in that bad boy pretty heavy. So that's why I like, I aim for 5% a day. I like 1% per trade. That just works for me. When do you know the trade reverse? All right, so when you know that your trade reversed, it's basically like these pivots, I guess. So like, let me go back to our one that we had this was pretty like that. Okay, so like right here, boom, this bad boy is on a heavy down. Right here is kind of like our point of where it reversed. And now we're honestly kind of consolidated right here. Potentially could look like it's trying to push upwards, but I don't really know if it will, because this was our hourly, so that bad boy's strong. That thing's still holding strong. But yeah, I mean, if you see, strength take over and you see that thing shoot to the moon, you'll normally just kind of see in the candles like the trend reverse. Excuse me. If your trade is coming back. What do you mean? Like if it's something that I would roll over and it's coming back, or if it's coming back to that zone? So like in this, excuse me, sorry. In this case, my trade coming back would be like every time it came to this zone, I would play it, rollover. Okay, so with the rollovers, you're looking at multiple things. Okay, you're looking at other time frames to see if you're like an M or a W. You're looking to see the strength take over. And like in this case, here's where you could actually, here, let me pull up my 1 minute so I can show you guys. Here's where you could look at like the other time frames. Okay, so here we're at our 5. You see how like these wicks came up and then they pulled back to this zone? To see kind of what's going on, like you can come, even in your 300, it's only wicks. 1 minute. Okay, like here. You could come down to your 1 minute and kind of see each individual candle, if that makes sense. So like here, it's a 5 minute, so this is 5 minutes. One of these candles is 5 minutes. When you jump down to your 1, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of these candles kind of signifies my 1 candle. So sometimes if I see market kind of pulling up here and like, let's say I'm in this trade, I would jump down to my 1 minute and see, okay, what are you doing in the 1 minute? And I kind of maybe wait for my see what the candles are doing on the 1. And if I think this is just going to be a wick. In this case, yeah, I would think this is going to be a wick because it's a strong zone. And you can even add, I know they didn't all hit the same zone, guys. You can add like a line here just to kind of keep in the back of your mind. Like, okay, I'm going to keep in my mind, geez, that makes no sense. Keep in the back of my mind that market has whipped up to this 433 quite a few times. Kind of came up here. So now, yeah, I still like my original 415. I'm not moving that line, but I got a little zone here. So this may be where, all right, I'm still going to take my 415 aggressively. If it comes to this 433, I'm doubling up. This would be like a scenario of that case because I see that it keeps coming up and testing this zone and coming right back down. I asked that because the spike up are crazy. The spikes, honestly, and like the crazy spike ups right now may just be, again, guys, because it's a holiday for what US State's Labor Day. I think it's a holiday for CAD. Days like this, I don't really like to trade. When I see a lot of crazy spikes and a lot of like ugly candle movements, I personally avoid it. It's not worth it for me. Like if I had a killer week, why would I, that one day ruin it? That's what I was saying earlier, when you guys need to really set up a plan and follow it and really have a stop loss, because you do not want one day to set you back, like 2 weeks. 415. I love that you guys are playing on that and it's clearing. But of course, guys, I'm happy that it's helping you guys. I mean, this is what I do. This is, and truthfully, this is how I trade still. I don't, you guys keep asking if I use indicators. And I do, don't get me wrong, like once I learned this and this made sense to me, then I could implement these indicators and just use them as confirmation because I understand them now. In the beginning, when I was like completely overcomplicating it for myself, I used to have indicators on here. I didn't even know what they meant. Like I don't know, it looked cool, you know? Like I just had all this stuff and I'm like, ooh, like it just was like the cool thing to do. But like now, this is it. You watch the stochastic too. No, I don't use the stochastic. I use this divergence indicator. This is the one that I use. I use it on like the 60/40, and it's kind of the same thing, I guess, but more sure like shows me momentum. And also the reason I like this little bad boy is because this the line chart I was telling you guys about, it is the same exact thing. So like instead of switching to my line, I'll just see it down here. But yeah, this would be my that's it, you know. Those are the three. If I'm gonna use an indicator, use them. But even when I'm trading and I'm calling trades and stuff, I still have them off for the most part. This is how I mark. This is how I like to trade. This is what works for me. You guys have any other questions? I know a few people. I hope I didn't miss any questions, but please, like, feel free to throw some out. It really is, guys. Like I said, it is that simple. The basics are that simple, and everything. So tomorrow and like throughout the week, you're gonna see kind of people play off of this because this is the foundation to trading. Even like Forex, everything, guys. You cannot trade in the foreign exchange market and not know how to draw support and resistance lines. You can't. Like, this is the foundation to everything. Everybody's strategies that they teach you with all of their, indicators, this is it. Like, they know how to do this first. Of course. How do I do? Yeah, my pre-trade routine is basically what I showed you guys earlier. I look at Forex Factory. I check out my news. If someone's got red folders all day or something, I normally flag it. I'm like, I'm not going to trade on you. I do personally pull up my binary. Like I use binary sense, so I would pull it up. I like to see who is, two more trades. I love it. I like to see who is paying out. Okay, because if I have that's the other thing too. When you're trying to build your accounts, don't try to avoid like the 60% payouts and stuff because your like risk to reward is off. Like you want like 70% or higher. So what I do is like these little flags that you see here. I'll go on binary set and I'm like, all right, Euro CAD's paying 85%, CAD CHF's paying, and odd NZD. Like those are my three. I'm gonna go in and mark those three, and I'm gonna look for entries on those. Because they're paying me out. I would prefer an 85%er over a 60%er. So that is kind of how my like pre-trading, and then I come in and I do what I showed you guys. I go to my day, I check out my daily, mark it up. I jump down my time frames, and that's really it. That's how I mark my charts, and that's really what I trade off of. And like I said, granted, you can look. I look at my 3 minute. I look at my 1 minute. I've utilized now that I know this, and I've got this like pretty well. I'm confident with this. I use other things too. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the way Larissa trades, but to trade like Larissa, you need to understand this. To use the EMAs, like you're going to learn later on, you still need to learn how to do this. So once I kind of mastered this, now I can use other methods. I'm like, ooh, like this bad boy is trending up and it's really beautiful. And let me draw a trend line, etc. So you can, but you can't just jump straight to that. You have to be able to do this and just be confident with this, trade off of this before moving forward. Because I traded off of this for the longest time, and I still trade like this, guys, to be honest. Like if this was on Breakfast of Chance, I would be calling like this would have been what I called out for the put. Yeah, your mind's definitely gotta be right, guys. If you're having a rough day, your head's just not in it, I would just honestly, I would avoid I would avoid the trading. You know, I've noticed if I'm not in it, my head's not in it, you know, I had a bad day. I think most of you guys know that I'm pregnant, you know, if I'm not feeling well, I will not trade that day personally. I just won't do it because I know that my head's not fully in it. I might miss, you know, dumb things that I wouldn't have missed on a normal day. I might, you know, just small errors. You know, I might enter the trade late. I might not be paying attention. If your head is not fully there, it's not worth it. Don't trade. Candle patterns. Excuse me, do I use candle patterns? Yeah. So yeah, sometimes. Excuse me, that's something else that they're gonna go over this week. But like I said, once I knew how to do this, you know, I studied the candlestick Bible, you know, I look more into things now. Oh gosh, these hiccups are the worst. I'm so sorry, guys. I look more into things now that I focus on this. I had to bring it back, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was the person with 1,000 indicators in the beginning, and I had to, like, I don't know, I was like, I need to take it back and really go back to the basics. So but yeah, like if I see, you know, like I said, I do study the candlestick Bible, you know, there are other things you can study just to help you with taking your trades, etc. You know, like I like to know what the candles mean. If I see like a reversal candle happening, or you know, these big wicks, like I like to know what they mean, of course. How long do you keep your markups, even if the place goes on? I keep my markups the whole time I'm trading. So I don't really mess with like these. Like see this my, oh, no, just going to the back. I love being while I'm trading. Me personally, like if you have like a daily and an hour and all that, and you come back on tomorrow and it's still respecting it, you can still use it. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Me again, like I said, I'm real OCD with my charts, so I like reset every day, but that's just me again. If something is still respecting your zone, why remove it? How do you get out of hesitation mode? I did a lot of, in the beginning, like honestly, I did a lot of dollar trades and playing on a demo. And you just have to be confident. Just take the trades. You know, just do it for $1, do it on your demo, or just sit and literally watch trading view. Like you guys see my chart right now and you're watching it, respect the zone. I mean, you can do that. Mark up your charts and just sit there and watch the charts. I can't tell you how many times I've hesitated and just watched the trade leave me, but then I'm like, you know what? It's okay, because at least I know what I'm talking about. It helps build your confidence. It's really a confidence thing. It really is. You know, a lot of people overcomplicate this, guys. It's not. Just bring it back to the basics, and I'm like focus on this. You know, the basics of basics, and like once I understood this, everything else now, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like you get it. But if you skip past all this, you're not gonna understand. You're gonna get stuck. Yeah, there is trading. There is going to be trading sessions, guys. How long did it take me to be profitable? It took me a little while, I'm not gonna lie. Discipline was my issue and mindset. I didn't take it seriously in the beginning at all. I am not gonna lie. I kind of thought in the beginning that the mindset stuff was corny. I thought it was, you know, I'm like, I don't need that. Like, I just want to learn the skill. And you know, it really hurt me. I mean, I've had my fair share of blown accounts, guys. Like, I am not perfect. But it took me a few months to like really and discipline. I was one who didn't want to. I was very bad with discipline, to be honest. Like following the discipline plans and stuff. I was like, nah. Like I was bad with it. So it took me a little while to realize, like, it took me a few blown accounts to be like, okay, Crystal, you need to get this discipline under control, because that's where you're failing. That was my biggest, my biggest struggle was me, like overcoming me and learning discipline, because I know myself, and that was it. Which still, like to this day, I still have, like I said, if I go, I know myself. I get frustrated. I'm just like everybody else, we're all human. If I go 0-2, I'm sitting there like mad at the broker, like what is going on, and I'm kind of flustered. So that's why I give myself the stop loss. If I go 0-2 or 0-3, I'm like, you got it. I'm not going to trade anymore right now, and I'll come back and reassess later. That's okay. Yeah, discipline is everybody's biggest problem, I think, because learning to trade, and Alex like pounded this in our heads like all the time, but it's true. Learning to trade is not that difficult. Like, you guys can figure this out. Like, it's not as hard as one would think if you really just start with the basics. Then the rest will come easy. It's discipline. That's what gets us. It's discipline. It's greed. It's, oh, this is the one I'm going in. Like, I've been guilty of that. I've gone 0-2 and I'm like, double or nothing, triple or nothing. And next thing I know, my account's gone. Like, that's the real issue here, guys, is being disciplined. That's the big key. Give yourself a stop loss, control your losses, and be disciplined. And your account will grow. It just takes time. Revenge trading, yeah, I am like totally 100% there with you. I have done it multiple times. That's why now, I have my plan. I know when to stop. Yeah, Randy, the difference might be crazy today too, just because of like the market, honestly. Normally they're pretty close, but like 378 to 392, that's a pretty big difference. But it may just be because today there's a holiday, a lot of ugly stuff going on. What's the low and high on this chart? So I marked this like these wicks right here. I have a 433, and then I have this 163. This 163 was my my daily, actually, one of my daily markups. If you haven't blown an account, I mean, it happens, like I've blown accounts. I'm not afraid to say that. Like, it happens, trust me. I know myself. The 479 and the 178. 479. What do you have? The top of this wick? Oh wait, and the 178. Oh, this was like the low. I'm sorry, not my markups. So this right here, is that what you're talking about? This high and this low? That's like the high that the market was, and this was the low. If that's
a strong.
I think that's what you're asking me. I hope. In this time, before disciplines everything. Yep. I feel like every trader got my blue account. Yeah, we have. It happens, guys. It's okay.
Do you have any more questions for you? I think y'all type some. I don't even know. Type whatever the hell you want in the chat for Chris and our sniper angel. Yo, that markup was nasty. That's all I got. Markup was.
I can't see if you can play off, but I'm like.
I mean, listen, the fact is right there, right? Like, she literally marked it up. She said, yo, if it breaks this area, instead of freaking out, she said, you're going to double up right up here. And literally, that candle right there, what did it do? It broke, doubled up at that top, and it just died. So, yo, that markup was nasty. Even your floor is respected, but I mean, I wouldn't go against it, but even it's struggling there. Like, it's, look at that quick 5 and all, isn't it? You basically made all your money back with this $25. You got it right back. In the first class or the first of the 4-day seminar, and it's just crazy how that thing respected and get home, right? But you guys see how she literally just kept it as simple, like, because that's what we're gonna show you in this 4-day seminar. Like, you can literally still be an amazing trader by keeping it simple, right? And that's why I said, you don't have to, I need 7 indicators, right? I need all these indicators, whatever the case may be. No, everybody finds whatever fits them. And that's what you guys are going to get every single day. Today, you guys already saw Crystal just body the market while educating, right? Made everybody back real quick. And everything literally did exactly how she was saying, because why? Because she said, yep, the area that it keeps hitting, it keeps rejecting. So you know what? I'm gonna keep taking it until it leaves me. Right? And look at that. It's smacked again. I mean, I can't make this up. Right? I literally cannot make this up and how simple this is. I just don't want you guys bumping off that markup ridiculous, right? I don't want you guys overcomplicate these things. All right, I don't want you guys to overcomplicate these things, man. And for everybody that joined, understand that at night, if you need like another refresher on this, right? You can, because she's gonna give away the same exact class at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? But we're gonna open up the room at 7:30 p.m. All right, we're gonna open up the room at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, fam. All right, same link, okay? Same link, 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, and then by 8 o'clock we're gonna start. All right, fam, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go through name by name, so don't freak out. As long as your name matches what we have in our records, you're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like standing in line for like a live event. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're having it live, it's like literally like standing in line, but just for, you know what I mean, virtually. But yo, Crystal, amazing class.
Thank you. I'm happy that it helped everybody.
Do we have access to trade with you guys? Yes. You guys will get access. We will trade with you guys. But look at this. Like off of her markers, people were just bodying her, right? But yes, we will hold trading calls. We will hold trading calls for you guys. That, you know, there's some people like, look, I don't want to have my broker open. I just want to take notes. Amazing. But we will have like ladies' night. You know what I mean? We'll do stuff like this. I cannot do a recording. All right. How will we get that info? When you guys come in at 8 p.m. Eastern, right? 8 p.m. Eastern, she's going to get the class again and respect it again. Lord Jesus. I don't understand. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. But yeah, you have ladies' night. You have all these type of things, fam, all right? So don't worry about it. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But tomorrow we get Larissa. Well, tonight we get Crystal again with the same exact class, family. So if you need a refresher, hop on again. Right? Hop on again. And then tomorrow we're going to get the other sniper angel, Larissa, and she's going to go over the 3 candle rule, right? Trend lines, candlesticks, pivots. You know, again, another different way of trading that will just basically feed off of what you learned today from Crystal. And then the following day, you're going to get this, my guy Josh. He likes teaching it's like multiple EMAs, right? It's an EMA strategy. And it's like multiple, it's like the 20, 50, 100, 200, I believe it is. I think that's how it is. But he has taken that strategy and really made it like a very, very profitable trading style. So that's another strategy you're going to learn. And that comes Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you'll get me, right? On Thursday, you'll get me. And I just basically get, I don't even got to do nothing. Listen, right? Like, you know, these guys got it. I'm just going to come in on Thursday, show you guys how I look at the market, how I analyze the market, like when I like, you know what I mean? We're going to talk about the mindset portion of it, you know, and how can you overcome certain losses? How can you make basically more money, right? A little bit faster, but responsibly, right? Without over leveraging, you know, things like that is what I will basically cover. All right, fam? But yeah, that was dope. That was dope. I mean, let me know, you know, hopefully you guys like the first session of the 4-day seminar. I really hope. I saw you guys stay study here. We were there for 2 hours, right? We were for solid 2 hours. Yeah. Straight learn. You feel me? Hey, this is things, bro, like you guys can take back to your teams, man. Like you guys can take these things right back to your own respective teams. Yo, make them nice with this. You see what I'm saying? Make them nice with it. And pay it forward. That's all we ever want, right? You don't gotta be part of OBG to teach your people how to trade. You can have your own team, you can grow, right? Just grow it the right way. But yeah, you got anything else, Krista? Because yeah, that was dope.
No, that's it, guys. You know, we'll do the same thing later. Different pair, obviously, because we'll have different pair markup. But yeah, that's basically it for me. I keep it simple.
Sweet. Forex, that'll probably be another live virtual, because that's gonna be like, you know, it takes a little bit more time to really break down Forex for you guys. But yeah, I mean, this is like, right, this is the first one. Right? This is the first one we did. We wanted to try it. We kept it at 250 people, right? To just, you know, test it out, see if how effective it would be for you guys. Because I mean, let me know if we didn't answer. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Crystal answered everybody's question. Team building the OBG way. Yeah, I can teach you guys. That's just gonna come on Thursday. I'm gonna teach you guys how we run OBG, right? And maybe you can duplicate it for your team so you guys can grow. So yes, I will be talking about that on Thursday as well, especially like with team building stuff like that. But again, we're here focused mainly on training. But I'll definitely answer that for you guys. Sweet. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, like the hobby opens, right? And at 8 p.m. we're gonna start. All right, family. So make sure you're ready there in the waiting room waiting. If you want this class again, all right, so you guys can learn. All right, love you guys. Thank you, Crystal. That was amazing.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, y'all.
You family, what's up? What's up? Alright, so how's man. So guys, you guys enjoyed that. Alright, cool. So put one in the chat box if you enjoyed that. Oh man. There we go. Where's this thing? Alright. Let's see. Where am I trying? Alright, so family, we're going to be continuing tomorrow. Later today, we're going to be having a trading section. So you guys should stay tuned by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that'll be 1 a.m. Nigerian time, 1 a.m. Cameroonian time, 1 a.m. Those in the UK. All right. So did you guys understand what she taught so far? She taught basic support and resistance. Hopefully you guys understood what she was teaching. If you didn't understand, drop one in the chat box. If you didn't understand what she was teaching, drop one in the chat box. So let's see how we can help you. All right, understood. All right, cool. All right, settled then. So see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.